So I want to share a really simple solution to inconsistent shooting performance with you. One of our Deep Game members was asking on our forum about what to do when he is struggling with his jump shot. I think for the past week or so, he's not shooting as well as he normally does, and he's a little bit worried, understandably. And the first thing I said to him, I'm going to get into the technique in a moment, but I just want to point this out as a general principle. What I said was, welcome to life as a shooter. Last season, Steph Curry had like 2 months or maybe longer that he couldn't hit a thing. I had in probably my best or maybe my second best season of shooting where I was like really on. I had a month in February where I could not hit a thing to save my life. And so every shooter goes through this, and the shooters who get through it and really like master the art of jump shooting are those who can just ride out these spells where their jump shot's just not clicking. They can ride it out with as little emotional reaction as possible. And this is what gets us into the technique. If you are emotionally reacting to your misses, you are going to be feeding your misses with emotional energy. I had a friend of mine who, well, one of my primary training partners when I was in my freshman and like 9th and 10th grade primarily is when we trained together. Whenever he would miss a shot, he would scold himself verbally, like he'd swear or he'd yell or he'd like clap his hands or something like that to try to guilt himself into making more shots or something like that. And I think I shared this in week 1 of the Deep Game program. Whenever he would do this, as soon as he'd like emotionally react, he'd miss the next shot and usually the next shot, and he'd go into this sort of slump. And it was only when he stopped emotionally reacting and he finally just like let himself shoot without thinking about it, without getting emotional, that he would start to make shots again. And this was a great shooter. I think one of the best shooters probably in the province of Ontario. And yet he couldn't notice this pattern in our workouts when every time he emotionally reacted, he'd start missing more shots. And so the key here is that you just don't get too high, don't get too low. As we spoke about in the masterclass, classic law of extremes. As emotion increases, consistency decreases. The more emotional you are with your misses, the more you're going to miss. And this is sort of a higher level, more nuanced deep game principle that I don't want to get too deep into here, but you will manifest more of what you focus on. This is, I don't want to get too esoteric here, but just remember those words. You will manifest more of what you focus on. So if you're focused on your misses, you will miss more shots. If you focus on your makes, you will make more shots. Allow yourself to feel good about your makes, not like overjoyed and excited and jumping up and down and getting, again, emotional about them, but just like, yeah, I made that shot. Good. Okay. Next shot. Allow yourself to feel good about your makes and to let your misses just kind of slide off. As a default, just don't think, shoot the ball. That's it. In that way, you will create consistency in your jump shot by being emotionally consistent and even-keeled. This is a really big key to becoming a truly great shooter. When you're not thinking, you're just shooting, and slumps come and they go. Spells where you're on fire and can make everything that you throw up, those spells come and they go. Your consistency must remain the same. Just keep on shooting. Doesn't matter if it's a week, doesn't matter if it's a month. Keep on shooting the ball. If you can do this over a long period of time, you will become a great shooter, assuming that you're doing the work, of course. So that's my advice to you. We'll get more into that deeper lesson that I mentioned there. I do want to get into this soon. I don't think it's quite the right time yet, but remember those words. You will manifest more of what you focus on. So that goes for any like sphere of life. You will manifest more of what you focus on. Remember that. Maybe contemplate how that applies to other areas of your life as well. And in the meantime, I will see you in the next one. Take care. Hey, it's Taylor. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And if you did, the best thing to do right now, while it's fresh in your mind, is to head over to deepgame.com and join us in our free masterclass. Now, this is where you'll learn all 8 laws of the deep game and all of the fundamentals that you need to know about the part of basketball that's played with the mind. We've had players call this the best hour of basketball learning of their lives, and it's completely free right now. So head over to deepgame.com to join us, and I will see you there.